Believe it or not, you've been flying with Air Canada all wrong this entire time. Every time you book a flight with Air Canada the normal way, you're leaving hundreds if not thousands of dollars on the table, and on top of that, you're likely missing out on time-saving perks like priority check-in and lounge access, all while others are flying past you with better seats and exclusive upgrades. Now, as the prices of flights keep going up, you're only going to feel the pinch even more, and if you don't take action now, it's only going to hit you harder in the wallet in the months and years to come. But don't worry, there's a better way to fly. In this video, we'll show you 3 credit cards that you can get to maximize your Air Canada travel experience that'll not only save you money, but also get you flying business class for less than what most people pay in economy class. Imagine flying Toronto to Tokyo or Montreal to Paris up front with full perks and still coming out ahead. Let's get into it. Now let's start with the basics. Air Canada is the country's largest airline, offering many routes from key cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal to over 200 destinations worldwide. And so whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, chances are Air Canada is your go-to airline, whether you're flying long haul or domestic routes. Now let's talk about Aeroplan, which is Canada's largest frequent flyer program associated with Air Canada. It's arguably one of the best programs in the entire world for earning and redeeming points, and here's why. Number 1, you've got flexible redemption options. Aeroplan partners with almost 50 airlines around the world, including all of Star Alliance, plus unique partnerships that Air Canada and Aeroplan have negotiated with other leading airlines like Emirates, Etihad Airways, and Cathay Pacific. This means you can book flights to almost anywhere in the world through Aeroplan's network. Number 2, there's no cash surcharges. A lot of frequent flyer programs out there will charge you an extra $100 or $200 or $500 whenever you want to redeem points for a flight. Aeroplan got rid of this a few years ago, and so now there's no cash surcharges whenever you book a flight with points. You only have to pay for the taxes and fees levied by the airport authority or the government associated with the itinerary, but on top of that, Aeroplan doesn't collect any more fees, meaning that it's going to cost you less to make bookings through this program compared to other programs out there. And lastly, number 3, you can add stopovers on an Aeroplan redemption for just 5,000 extra points. And so that means for just paying an extra 5,000 points, which isn't a lot, you get to add an intermediate stop on your way to your final destination, which basically allows you to visit 2 cities or destinations for essentially the price of 1. Now, these are some of the features that make Aeroplan a powerhouse of a loyalty program, but the real magic happens when you layer on the co-branded credit cards. There's a lot of credit cards out there that can help you earn Aeroplan points, but we've shortlisted our 3 favorites here at Prince of Travel, and we'll talk about them in this video. When you use these cards together, they unlock a whole new level of benefits like earning more points per dollar spent and unlocking perks such as free check bags and airport lounge access. And so let's start with credit card number 1, which is a card that doesn't earn Aeroplan points directly, but it's still a game changer when it comes to supercharging, and that's the American Express Cobalt card here in Canada. It's a well-known card, especially for its unbeatable earning rates on everyday spending and the ability to convert those points at a 1-to-1 ratio over to Aeroplan. You'll earn 5 points per dollar spent on groceries, dining, and food delivery, 3 points on streaming subscriptions, 2 points on gas and transit, and 1 point on everything else. Now, instead of an annual welcome bonus, the Cobalt card offers a monthly bonus of up to 1,250 bonus points for spending $750 every statement for 12 months, which is perfect for earning consistent rewards over the course of the first year. Now, the card also comes with travel insurance for things like hotel burglaries, flight delays, and travel medical insurance. But when you break it down, it's really the 5 times the points bonus on food and drinks that makes this card super versatile and valuable for racking up the points, which you can then transfer at a 1-to-1 ratio to Aeroplan and fuel your travel possibilities. This is one of the most powerful earning rates on any credit card in Canada, and so to fully maximize the Cobalt card, make sure to use it for everyday spending, especially on food, drinks, and dining out. Focus on reaching the monthly spend target every month to hit those maximums, and then regularly transfer those points over to Aeroplan to prepare for booking your flights. If you pair the American Express Cobalt card with one of the Visa cards that we're going to talk about later in this video, you'll be sure to cover all your bases when making a purchase anywhere, no matter whether they take American Express or Visa. And so if you're interested in applying for the American Express Cobalt card, make sure to use the link in the description below. It helps to support our work and make videos like this to add value to your travel experiences. And with that said, let's talk about the next card on this list. It's a card that offers a wide range of perks that enhances the Air Canada experience, but also comes with unique advantages of its own. I'm talking about the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card, and here's what makes this card a must-have. You get a welcome bonus of up to 40,000 Aeroplan points, which is enough for a free round-trip flight to many destinations in North America. And by the way, these welcome bonuses change from quarter to quarter. The 40,000 points is current as of the time of this video, but if you want the most up-to-date information, check out the link on our website in the description description below. In terms of earning rates on this card, you get 1.5 points per dollar spent on eligible groceries, gas, and Air Canada purchases, and 1 point per dollar on everything else. The best benefit of the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card though is probably the free first check bag on Air Canada flights, which applies to not just yourself as the card holder, but up to 8 other passengers on the same reservation. Now, checked bag fees have been rising in recent years, costing upwards of $30 per bag, and so if you think about it on a round trip flight for you and a family of 4, let's say, that's a total of 8 flights, $30 in checked bag fees, $240 saved. That far outweighs the $139 annual fee on this card just by leveraging this perk. Now, on top of the comprehensive travel insurance offering on this card, you've also got $100 in Nexus rebates every 4 years to help you get that Nexus card, which is so valuable for breezing through Canadian and US security and immigration queues. You'll never guess how many times I've come off a long-haul flight facing what would otherwise be a 2-hour queue through the immigration lines, but instead it's a matter of minutes before I'm breezing through to my final destination or back to my home after a long trip, thanks to being a Nexus card holder, and the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card helps you save on that cost. And so to get the most out of the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card, focus on hitting that welcome bonus spending requirement to get those extra Aeroplan points, and then make sure to maximize the free checked bag benefit on the card as well as the Nexus benefit to help you have a smoother travel experience. And with all that packaged together, you've got a very useful card that saves you money and time on almost every trip. If you like this video and you want to go even deeper on this topic, then usually we put the links to the relevant articles on our website in the description for every video that we publish. So go ahead and check out our article on the best Aeroplan credit card combinations if this is a topic that interests you, and let's get back to the video. Now, this next Aeroplan credit card is issued in the United States. If you're an American Air Canada frequent flyer, or if you have access to US credit cards in general, you'll want to pay attention to this card because it's a great way to maximize your Aeroplan points and climb that Aeroplan elite status ladder. Here's why the Chase Aeroplan card stands out. Number one, you've typically got a very substantial welcome bonus in the range of 50 to 100,000 Aeroplan points. It's typically enough for a round trip flight, even somewhere international, and it's a great way to kickstart your Aeroplan points balance. But the most interesting welcome incentive for applying for this card is not really in the form of the points, but instead in the Aeroplan 25K status that you get for the first year as the card holder and through to the end of the second calendar year. And this is one of the easiest ways to earn and maintain Aeroplan 25K status. Certainly a bit frustrating that Canadian Aeroplan credit cards don't offer this, but the US issued Aeroplan credit card does. 25K status grants you benefits like priority check-in, early boarding, and free checked baggage, which makes it an overall much smoother flying experience with Air Canada just for having this entry-level status. Now, if you spend $15,000, you get 25K status, but if you spend $50,000 on the card, you'll get what's known as an elite status level up, which is whatever elite status you've organically earned with Aeroplan that year, you'll get a complimentary bump up to the next tier above. Now, this is one of the shortcuts to achieving even the top tier super elite status with Air Canada Aeroplan. Typically, you have to spend $20,000 on Air Canada flights over the course of the calendar year, but if you have the Chase Aeroplan card, you can just spend $9,000 to earn 75K status, plus of course the mileage and segments requirements, and then if you spend 50 grand on this card, you'll get that level up to super elite without having to go through the usual strict requirements. And lastly, with an annual fee of just $95, this card is fairly accessible compared to many of the premium travel credit cards out there, and it's such a good deal for all of the benefits that are available. Now, of course, the feature we love the most about the Chase Aeroplan card has got to be all of the elite status perks. Apply for the card, get Aeroplan 25K status through the next year, spend 15 grand, keep it year after year, and spend 50 grand. That can bump your status up for an entire year and potentially save you from having to fly dozens of additional segments to get the same perks from your Air Canada flights. And to maximize the value of this card, that's where you want to place your focus. Hitting some of these spend thresholds can significantly elevate your Air Canada travel experience, and that can be especially powerful when paired with the points earning rates and the existing benefits on the 2 other cards that we've already talked about. And now that we've covered 3 powerhouse credit cards that when combined together can really supercharge your Air Canada travel experience, let's put it all together with a concrete example. Let's say you're booking a flight to Europe. You've earned the majority of your points through the American Express Cobalt card by spending on dining and groceries. You then transfer those points to Aeroplan and book a business class seat for much less than most people pay for economy class. Meanwhile, when you redeem those Aeroplan points, you're gonna have to pay about a few $100s in taxes and fees. And you put those charges on your TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card to earn 1.5 times the points on an Air Canada purchase and benefit from the travel insurance coverage and Air Canada free check bags. And if you happen to have the Chase Aeroplan card issued in the US, then you might just have Aeroplan 25K status to supplement your benefits as you embark on that journey if it's within your first full calendar year of holding the card, or if you've spent $15,000 on the card in subsequent years. This means you get those extra perks like priority check-in and early boarding to make your travel experience that much better. Now, in terms of next steps, if you're just getting started, we'd recommend applying for either the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card if you're based in Canada, or the Chase Aeroplan card if you're based in the US. This is going to be a great way to start your Air Canada journey, and after that, if you're Canadian, get the American Express Cobalt card. If you're in the US, watch out for future videos as to other super powerful cards that you can use to maximize your everyday spending and transfer those points over to Aeroplan for the diversity of airline partners, the no cash surcharges, and the stopovers for just 5,000 points. And once you have these cards, make sure you're maximizing your spend on the right categories. Use the TD or Chase cards for Air Canada purchases, and the Cobalt card for everyday spending, especially on food and drinks for those 5 times the points. This combination will help you quickly build up your points balances and take advantage of all the perks for your next big trip. Speaking of which, when you embark on that big trip, you'll want to make sure you're seated at the front of the plane instead of towards the back with all of the crying babies. Make sure to check out our video on how to get upgraded to business class every time if that's something you're interested in, and I'll see you in that video.